Be the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Mpenifo na ka omasem se suban etise nyinshen wontimi mfensie otwe omutan a ebeden ebepie nturo miensa na NDC so far yehu se nturo chichirichi na time has vindicated the new patriotic party nturo ba ko a e call so kasepa 2012 say NDC for MPP for we abanim 2020 muko jina Supreme Court mun provide evidence biara any omunsem intro mienu a ebae say His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo na Jubilee House na omutu galamsey power Ghana into otu aba etia the new patriotic party galamsey will come to an end and galamsey has quadrupled stability levels are rising in thousands of percentages. Na intro baako a ekoso ye ewo ewutu senya east omo brande Hawa Koomson say oye violent woman ene time ha vindicate Hawa Koomson na vindication in free MPP ni ne bio if you honorable Muntaka Mubarak tax force omo ye investigations into the truth and credibility of Nsem-Pii, the current MP of Owutu Senya East Editor Naa Koryoo. Nsem the two Ghana said, Hawa Koomson, a bolutio, Editor Captain Smart platform so, Emma, Owutu Senya East, constituents, Hawa Koomson tem, Atempa, Emma, Omoyede, Omu skill vote, no, a command, the NDC parliamentary candidate, and or backtracking. Lawyer Paul Adam Ochre, good evening, Ghana, on himself our program there. Evidence upon evidence, and will provide here on the program so. Yes, same right. Young lawyer Paul Adam Ochre, evidence our gather, efa in seven trois, a course so a Owutu Senya East.
Ghanaians observing the campaign one day heard that they had been shooting in Kaswa. Hawa Koomson was already quite disliked by the NDC, given her very frontal role in the disturbances that occurred in Parliament on the 7th of January. Hawa Koomson stood her ground on the issue of who will sit on which chair, and she was very brutal. She's a very strong woman, those of you who know her. And she was very brutal in insisting that some chairs were for the majority and some chairs were for the minority. Photographs and videos came up and she was painted out as a violent woman, etc., etc. So that had been her record, and she was an anti-person as far as the NDC was concerned. So when this story broke, and the Honorable Koryoo alleged that she didn't quite allege. She said Hawa had shot at her, and two people had died. It sort of fitted into the story of Hawa Koomson is violent. So this is what she put out on 7th. Was it 7th December 2024? The election day, that is. Hawa Koomson tried to kill me. 2 of my agents are dead. I am beginning to guess that this happened before voting ended. Now, if in the middle of voting, this is published by a woman who has already been propaganded as violent, and you see this one, you are naturally going to be concerned about it. So this is the first thing she put out. And then she went on TV3 to speak about what had happened. And then later on, she was granted an interview by our friend Captain Smart on Onua FM about what has happened. Let's see first what she said to TV3.
This is one of the collective centers, which is Iron City. I want to step to Christ first. I realized that there was a DA, which is Hawa Koomson DA, with the boys, Tima, and the rest, the same boys I complained about. They have followed me and they have shot one of my guys. In fact, they shot at my car separate eyes.
I see. And what's the situation there where you are now?
One guy is dead. It is so peaceful. Obviously, when someone is dead, how can he be peaceful? How can he be calm? There's a dead person lying down there. I want to think I killed someone. He wants to take my life, and he has killed someone and injured another.
So that's what she told TV3 in an interview. And then now she has an interview with Captain Smart where she sort of details out what happened. Let's hear what she said.
Obana cast na yes and the 20 kaya no de eno na wuti mu bi no.
E 20 kaya no. Me official mahindra na me use no. Party car no. Eno na me timu bi no. Eno so ana etro no e kaya.
Enti womo etuo ne ka womo na womo ete ka na chi no womo te front na hefa no womo
womo te etire na womo te me ka na chi ene etuo ne ka womo
ka na chi se etira enye se etira obi a ehu but ka na chi a yatum
ai ka na chi pick up say pick up mahindra pick up it's womo te ka na chi
ene na wo te hefa
te back
Captain, see me question ye ne busa ne mame. Cars na ye dodo saying back home. And on no won't be the ranty and wetchery. And I said, Castle, na ya do saying.
Can I hear me? No, back and I back
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the idea, woman, the idea, chin na etuo kan.
The idea, chin.
Eti, car no, Land Cruiser Black, no, a crossing wood, and I said, a share montem.
A buyer, the mechanic, almost started some on fire.
Wo can and I said the do can chino.
There be me a mechano.
Okay.
Me a mechano.
Patrona when I will drive it.
Patro Debbie.
Okay.
Now me drive an Chicano.
All right. Mo wo can na mo yes na netim.
Na yeah 6 na netikanim.
Okay. Na Pacho what two gunshot not a bed do be say.
Yet say to drop by 3.
Do be 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Enti womo tutu wie no womo di mo achi be sam ho koya na so mo dane womo ho.
Patro mo dane womo ho koye.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so you heard the narration. So next, let's look at the President Mahama then commissioned an inquiry into all of the violence of 2020 and 2024, including this one, which was very heavy on the agenda. The Minister of Interior reported to the media on the government accountability platform of Felix Kwatiofosu, and this was he said.
2024 election violence cases, starting with Ewutu Senya East Constituency, that's Kaswa. The task force observed that the Honorable Felix Naa Koryoo Okeno denied that her convoy was attacked. She was nowhere near the scene of the incident. 2024 election violence cases, starting with Ewutu Senya East Constituency, that's Kaswa. The task force observed that the Honorable Felix Naa Koryoo Okeno denied that her convoy was attacked. She was nowhere near the scene of the incident.
Now, said before a commission of inquiry where she had to speak under oath, the Honorable Member of Parliament, whom you heard narrating and was crying, I mean, when she was talking to Captain Smart, she was sober. It was like she was crying. She had been traumatized. She, Baby Groma people, are they there? The School of Performing Arts at the University of Ghana. They need her. Madam Honorable Koryoo, maybe you missed your way. You should be doing what Jifa Gomashi, the tourism minister, knows how to do very well. To go to the School of Performing Arts at the University of Ghana and become a great actress. I think you will be a great actress because the way you can dramatize when there's nothing happening, I admire you for that. It's really, really heartbreaking. This is what the Interior Minister said. He said, Felix Naa Koryoo Okeno denied her convoy was attacked. Koryoo, okay, Felix Naa Koryoo Okeno denied her convoy was attacked, stating she was not at the scene. Those involved have refused to speak with the task force. This is quite shocking. So she goes before the committee. Everything she told Captain Smart then, she erased it before she's at the committee that nothing had happened. Her convoy had not been attacked because here at the committee she needed to provide evidence of what she's saying. That's why we always say that propaganda is different from speaking in court or speaking before a committee. At the propaganda platform, you can say anything. But once you get into a committee or into court and you have to defend what you are saying, they backpedal, they develop cold feet because they were just speaking lies, concoction for political gain. That's something we have to identify perhaps in our behavioral patterns for politicians. Concoction of stories for political gain. If people do that, there has to be some sanctions for it because there was too many of that in our last 2-3 elections, particularly 2024. So much happened. So this is what happened. Now, today, after she's receiving flack from young people all over the place who are completely shocked, the Gen Zs are completely shocked because they were all outraged by the story when they heard it. That this was the sound. Why is Hawa Koomson who's shooting at people on election day? Now they are all very worried. Was she really lying? Could she have been lying? Is it possible that she was lying? But why? An honorable member of parliament. She wants to go to parliament, and she wants to go to parliament with this dramatic lies. In a situation where now the writ of defamation may lie in favor of Hawa Koomson. She can take out a writ of defamation and sue her because she has actually confessed that she was lying. I mean, what is this? Let's see what she said today. Let's see. Have a look.
At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Hawa Koomson and a NADMO pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truer facts will emerge. Let me end by saying that as the sitting member of the good people of Ewutu Senya East constituency, I consider myself a mother for all.
What does that mean? What does consider yourself? You are telling lies. They're asking you say you're a mother for all. Are you going to teach the children that you are mothering these lies, and that's how they're going to grow into citizens of Ghana? These lies that you are telling, that's why you're going to teach children that you are the mother to? You consider yourself a mother for all. So you have to be telling lies about another mother so that you win the election. You see how these things are? This is politics. And you see, as we continue to do that, the general public lose interest in the politics. Now, tomorrow, there's another election. An MP comes from the Galamsey periodical, it's TV, and he says that Collins Dowda shot at me. They'll say, hey, these politicians, when they say these things, they don't mean it to. That's what Koryoo did in 2024. That's what is going to happen. So the credibility of politics is going down the drain because the principal political actors have refused to fight the fight with the real tools of fighting. The battle of vision, the battle of a program, the battle of a policy. They've refused to use those tools because sometimes they can't use them. So they go for unorthodox tools. And it ends us here where an MP is blatantly lying. She lied about everything just so that she would draw sympathy onto herself and then she might win the votes. She won. Today, she's still talking. She says that video again. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya. Let's see it again.
At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Hawa Koomson and a NADMO pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truer facts will emerge. Let me end by saying that as the sitting member of the good people of Ewutu Senya East constituency, I consider myself a mother for all.
I consider myself a mother for all, so I was lying that you people will vote for me, then I become mother for many. Madam, this is not nice. This one is not nice at all. This is the politics that we are practicing in Ghana for the future of Ghana, so democracy will be sustained. Democracy is already under threat. When you add these concocted stories so that you get elected, you are getting the youth to lose interest in all of these enterprise. And they later on, they're looking for another system of government where these things are not permissible. And that's a system of government with the soldiers holding a gun. That's where it's not permissible. You can't do that. You really need to apologize, not even to Hawa Koomson. Forget about Hawa Koomson. She's a competitor. You may not like her, she may not like you. That's okay. But don't apologize to her. Apologize to the young people who followed you in Kaswa. That group of people, the young people, the NDC women who were trolling to your rallies, the women who are 25, 27, 32, 19, who were coming to your rallies and who had faith in you. Tonight, you have let the faith down. You've dropped the ball. You've broken the bottle because you lied. What more can we say? We can't say much. We are only commentators. We are not the Speaker of Parliament. And I don't know whether the Speaker of Parliament is interested in what has been happening. But at the end of the day, Hawa Koomson has calmly issued a statement, and the statement is as follows. She says, I have taken note of the recent revelations by the Honorable Minister for the Interior, the Honorable Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, regarding the findings of investigations into election-related violence, including the tragic incident at Kaswa. The minister's report confirms that 21 suspects have been identified, that there were clear breaches of discipline by some security officers, and that the use of firearms in certain situations was unjustified. These findings affirm what I have consistently maintained, that the Kaswa incident was the result of security lapse, institutional failures, not the actions or instigation of any individual. For years, I have endured harsh and unfair public attacks. I was branded violent, reckless, and unfit for office through sensational and misleading headlines. The judgment was swift and painful. Today, the Interior Minister's findings have vindicated me, confirming that the violence was not directed by me, but stemmed from broader systemic failures in election security coordination. The unjustified accusations and intense vilification I faced even led to my assault during the rerun of 19 polling stations in Ablekuma North, where I had gone peacefully to monitor the proceedings. That experience remains one of the darkest moments of my public life, a reminder of how false narratives can destroy reputations and endanger lives. While I take no delight in revisiting these painful experiences, I extend my deepest sympathies to the families of all victims of electoral violence. Their loss must be our national lesson. I fully support the Interior Minister's recommendations, including compensation for victims, enhanced police training, the use of non-lethal crowd control tools, and the discontinuation of military involvement in election crowd control operations. I call on all Ghanaians, especially political actors and the media, to exercise calm reflection and responsibility. Let us avoid misinformation, incitement, and divisive rhetoric. This moment calls not for blame, but for introspection, justice, and national unity. May this truth restore faith in our institutions and strengthen our democracy. Let us all pledge that never again should political competition lead to the loss of lives of Ghanaians. And is signed by the Honorable Mavis Hawa Koomson, former Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, former Minister for Special Development Initiatives, Fisheries, Aquaculture Development, and the NPP National Women's Organizer hopeful. Congratulations, Madam. Truth stands, as we say in Commonwealth Hall, and vindication is always in the womb of time. What a story. What a story. Are there more stories like that going to come up from the 2024 elections where we're going to see a lot of the things that were said untrue? I don't know why they gave me Honorable Koryoo's picture. Madam, good night. Don't do that again. Okay. Good night. I think that people may forgive you. You're a woman, so people will forgive you. Women are very important to our society, and we adore women. Without women, our society will not be where it is. And once you're a woman in leadership, we want to support you so that we can have more women in leadership. But don't be telling lies, Madam. We beg. Don't tell these lies. They are too bad. When you see Hawa Koomson somewhere, send her a text and say that let bygones be bygones and we can move on. Apologize to the young people and we can move on. But don't do that again.